Hello, hey guys. This is like my third time trying to film this. I've been having so much trouble. It's like, it's only me. This is all jerry-rigged. But I needed to film my thoughts and opinions on this. And I'm already gonna say it. I am a year late, I already know. But this is my shoe review of the Onepiece Skechers collab. Um, for the D-Lites number 2. Uh, like, I can't tell you just how happy I was about these guys. And if I honestly wasn't such a big fan of One Piece, or if I hadn't been like fantasizing about owning these shoes for so long, I wouldn't put out a review for something like this, because it's a year old. If you wanted to see a review about it, you probably would have. But I really just want to give my thoughts and feelings about the shoe. So I'm gonna put down timestamps on this video, so if you want to just go right into my thoughts and feelings and my rating for the shoe, just hit any one of those. But I really want to talk about how I found this shoe and why the fuck I'm so hyped about it. For one, like, you gotta know something about me. When I like shoes or kind of like clothing, I usually one of two things happens. Either one, I'm too broke to even think about buying something like this, or two, I just am too lazy to fucking sit on my computer and wait for it to come out, because it just gets sold out like that. Like, that's why with one of these things, I remember looking back at it way before, when it first came out in South Korea, and it was only in a woman's size, and it was already sold out. I thought to myself, man, those are super dope, but it's just not something I'm gonna find. And then slowly it worked its way into the United States, and now it's here in Canada, and like, it's crazy, man. And the whole way I found it's another story on its own. I mean, I was with my mate Sam, and we were just going down in train yards at a Marshall's because we had dinner at a restaurant around there, and we like, oh, let's go pop our heads into the Skechers fucking warehouse for 5 minutes. We were seriously just about to bounce, and it was like a last minute thought. We come in there, next thing you know, we find like just bunches of boxes of One Piece X Skechers collab shoes. I'm talking about like the D-Lite 2's and the D-Lite 3's, the newest collaboration. And not only were there a bunch of them, but they were selling them for so cheap. I got these guys for $39 Canadian, and it was a buy one get another 50% off. We each got a pair. It came to around with tax like $60-70. It was absolutely crazy. And just to put in comparison, these guys, they retail, from what I understand, to be $86 American, and also from what I can tell online, the resale of a lot of these are around, I haven't looked too much, but around $160. So for me to find them like that is absolutely crazy. It was honestly like, that was one of the, it was so strange. It felt like a small miracle to me. I'm not kidding around when I say that, although how sad that sounds. But like, I don't know. It's still in my head. I'm having a hard time processing some of this, and I just want to talk about, before I get into the review, like the whole reason why I'm so interested in this shoe. For one, you gotta understand something about me. I'm a huge fan. Like, I love One Piece so much. I grew up with it. It's like, for most people it's Dragon Ball Z or Naruto. For me it was One Piece. Of course I love Dragon Ball Z and Naruto. I grew up with that too. But One Piece was like, that's my thing, man. That's my shit. And I know you, well, as most of you probably know, well, actually, why did I say that? Maybe some of you know this. If you follow anime or anything like that, most of the merchandising that has to do with clothing or shoes, that kind of world, really sucks balls. Like, like, the designs are usually like really over the top and like right on the nose. It's usually something like Itachi Uchiha, and then it'll say something like, I'll show the whole picture and I'll show it, say something like the ultimate Uchiha. It'll usually be tacky, or the material will probably be really bad. So once you have these companies that do collaborations with these animes, it's really something special. Like the the Dragon Ball Z collab with Adidas. I mean, I honestly wasn't the biggest fan of some of the shoes they came out with, but that wasn't necessarily because of the designs for the club. I think the colorways they did and the designs and the little attention to detail were absolutely perfect for each shoe. But for me, I just wasn't a fan of any of the shoes they chose to pick for that collaboration. And then the newest coach with the Coach Naruto kind of thing, like that's another thing that's really cool. I really fuck with it a lot. I will not be buying any of it though, because it's Coach and I can't afford Coach. But anyway, that's kind of just some of the pretext of why I was so excited for these Skechers, because they like One Piece. I feel like One Piece gets the least amount of love when it comes to that kind of merchandising. But anyway, I guess it's really just time to get into what I think of the shoe. So first things first, I just want to talk about the packaging here. Now, if I'm honest, I do like the packaging. I don't think there's anything too wrong with it. On the front we have like the crew. I like that little. I like that. I love that it's super personalized at One Piece. But on the other hand, I do think they could have done a lot more with this. I feel as if the illustration of the crew is pretty low quality. They could have done something more. Even the coloring is pretty cheaply done. It doesn't really pop. But I love the world map you see at the front here and the Jolly Roger on the sides. Honestly, I feel like they could have done a bit more. It would have been so cool if they had little Easter eggs, maybe tidbits of lore that we don't even know about the series that are in certain set boxes. I feel like that would have really driven a lot more attention to these shoes. Because honestly, I feel like there's a lot of One Piece fans in general that have no idea that Skechers and One Piece ever did a shoe collab. But if I were to give this this packaging a rating, I'd give it I think around 7 out of 10. I'm sorry, I'm just really excited right now. I'm not listing my information, but I've already opened these two, and so there's no packing paper, but the second you open them up, you get into the shoes. And the shoes here, don't get me wrong, I love the shoes, as I've said 1,000 times, but when I first heard about this collaboration, I was a bit nervous, because it is Skechers, and let's be real here, people, Skechers is kind of a fucking meme. Skechers doesn't really make dope shoes, if I'm not gonna lie, but I'll give them this. They do have the model that they chose for these shoes. I do actually like the D'LITEs. They are kind of like, I don't like using streetwear because I think it's a bit of a, whatever, streetwear, what the fuck is that? But they're like they're kind of like the streetwear equivalent to, I would say, like a Fila in South Korea or whatever. They're a nice shoe, and I think they're slowly making their way here to North America. But other than like Skechers being kind of a meme, I do know that their quality doesn't necessarily hold up over time. So I was a bit nervous about that. But I mean, just look at this shoe. How can you talk shit to that? I like everything about it. I love how it has, to the blind eye, this just looks like a D'LITE. It doesn't even look like a Skechers shoe, I gotta say. But this just looks like, if you knew what D'LITEs were, this just looks like an interesting different colorway to your typical D'LITE. But then when you look at it, it has the One Piece font written above the tongue, and it's not too flashy. It's to the point where whoever needs to know can see it. I love the font they used. They made it with little bones. They also have the Jolly Roger at the top of the tongue for the Straw Hat Pirates. Now this varies depending on what shoe you get, but Again, it's not something that's super noticeable, but if you know what One Piece is, it's impossible to notice, which I think is really well done. The colorway, it fits Luffy perfectly, and then the inside, they have a nice little Luffy on the inside, on the inner sole. I really love it. I unfortunately though have a bad feeling that it's gonna fade away really quickly. But just the look of the shoe, I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. I'm just gonna say this: I am pretty biased towards this shoe because I am such a fan of One Piece. And I guess I want to talk about the material. So for the uppers, it's a mixture between synthetic leather, a fabric mesh kind of thing, and
suede.
anyway. But no, it was a bit. I was a bit disappointed about the synthetic leather because, again, these are Skechers, and it kind of makes me worried that the leather's not going to hold up. Now, I know there are pros and cons to, you know, real leather, synthetic leather, but at the end of the day, in my own opinion, I prefer real leather more. But other than that, I think that the colors pop so well. I think that for the price point I got it at, I have nothing to complain about. And I guess, like, here, I just want to show you the sole because I haven't shown that off yet. I guess I should just get into where I would rate this. Now, I've already said it. I'm a pretty biased source, but for me, this is my own thing. For me, these are a 10 out of 10. Smash it.
Wow.
I love these shoes. If it weren't for me not wanting to ruin these shoes, I would wear these things every single day. No joke. But if you want like a more of an impartial opinion, if I was just a guy if I was a guy who likes One Piece, who wants like some, you know, nice kicks, I would still give these shoes for the price point I got them at. Definitely a solid 8. I think these guys definitely deserve an 8 out of 10. Maybe a 9, especially if you're watching One Piece. And even if I didn't know anything about One Piece anime, anything like that in general, I think for the interesting colorway and for the price point, it's still I think a 7. In that, like, other than them being Skechers, I think they're bomb ass kicks. I love the size of them. I didn't even talk about the size. These guys are around, if I were to compare them, they're around the size of I would say an Air Force One, maybe a bit more base to them. But I love a big shoe, and I think this is like perfect dad size shoe, which is to me like, you know, in the middle between clunky big ass shoe and like a trainer, which I don't have enough of those, so, you know, it's a very welcome addition. But yeah, I could literally talk forever about these shoes. I'm just so psyched to have them. But I gotta wrap this up. And before I do, I guess I just want to talk to you guys about a video I have coming up in the works. I've been in the middle of making this video for forever. It feels like I'm super excited about it. I've put like a lot of effort into it, and I think it's definitely going to be the most interesting thing I've made on my channel so far. It's kind of about the world of drop shipping streetwear, and, you know, pros, cons, and some stuff I honestly didn't know, and I think is really interesting. And hopefully you guys can check that out. I don't know when it's going to be done. I'm hopefully gonna be able to finish videotaping it around this week. But anyway, I'm done talking. I'm sorry, you guys. But yeah, that's been my review on these shoes, and I'm gonna fucking take some Instagram pictures with them very soon. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Bye.